All right. Now that I've had a little bit of time after posting my last video, this jersey did not make the top 50. Didn't make my top 50. So just to show that I do have jerseys that I like that didn't make that top 50 list. Didn't make it. I got this the year that the expansion happened. I have a black Ottawa from that year, and I have this white Tampa from that year. I was very excited for that expansion. Okay. I'm going to take a look at this past year's yearbook. So this is the hockey news from this past year. And see what they had to say about rookies before the season started. Rookie watch: Connor McDavid, Jack Eichel, Sam Reinhart, Max Domi, Anthony Duclair, Nikolai Ehlers, Darnell Nurse, Sam Bennett, Sergei Plotnikov. No Panarin. Mike Riley is next too. Plotnikov, one of the latest in a string of Europeans to try their luck in the NHL later on. Ex-KHLer Plotnikov is still Calder eligible at 25. The big-bodied left winger plays a two-way game and can also score. The question is whether or not his skills will translate to North America. But if he gets the chance to play with Crosby or Malkin, his odds for success will greatly increase. Plotnikov has a gold and silver from the Worlds too. This is why when people say, would you sign this guy from Europe? Would you sign this guy from the KHL? My answer is always maybe, because Plotnikov was supposed to be a pretty good player. There, between him and Panarin, there were differing opinions on which one was going to be better, and then Panarin was fantastic. And that's just hockey. And Plotnikov didn't even last the full season in Pittsburgh. Meet the new guys, the new GMs. Don Sweeney as the Bruins' new GM. Sweeney inherited the Bruins salary cap mess and made a number of controversial moves around the draft. He's been with the team in varying capacities for almost a decade. Yeah, if by controversial you mean wrong, then yeah, they've been controversial. There's Lou Lamoriello of Toronto. No one saw this move coming after 27 years in New Jersey with the Devils. Lamoriello brings a wealth of experience and respect to the Maple Leafs GM chair, and he's done that. Peter DeBoer in San Jose, one of McClellan's assistant coaches with Canada at the World Championship. DeBoer took McClellan's old job and will be a good fit for a team with a strong mix of veterans and youngsters. I would say that's absolutely true. He's been a good fit. Todd McClellan with the Oilers with a solid resume of working with young players in Detroit and San Jose. McClellan comes with a certain amount of clout as one of the most respected coaches in the game, and he's why Adam Hall's gone. Adam Hall. Taylor Hall. Adam Hall, you don't have to worry about, really. I don't think Adam Hall is a star player. No offense to Adam Hall. But Taylor Hall, I really think that was McClellan's decision. I think McClellan went Chiarelli, or Chiarelli and McClellan worked together on it, because McClellan has so much say as the coach that I can't see Chiarelli making that decision without McClellan being in on it. Chiarelli will fall on that sword and say this was all my decision. But I really think that when he hired McClellan, it was with the idea of, okay, you know what it takes to build a winner. You've been with winning teams. Let's do this together. And at the end of the season, they said, all right, if we're going to trade a core player, it's going to be, I'm thinking Eberle was probably their first pick, maybe Nugent Hopkins, and then Hall. And at the end of the day, they said, well, Hall will get us this. So that's the move they made. I'm not defending it. I'm not damning it. I'm just saying this is how I imagine it would have happened. The fans, their vote for Hart Trophy, they voted for Crosby. Nope. Patrick Kane only got 5% of the vote. Who will win the Vezina? Carey Price got 31% of the vote. Yeah, but, he got hurt. Second place in the fan vote was Pekka Rinne, then Henrik Lundqvist, and then Braden Holtby, so that's interesting. Rocket Richard Trophy, everybody voted for Ovechkin, and then Stamkos. Connor McDavid got 8% of the vote, which is odd. But, he is viewed as the wonderkin, so who will turn out to be the better player overall when it's all said and done between McDavid and Eichel? McDavid gets 71% of the vote. Calder Trophy, 52% said McDavid would win it. This is the interesting thing. Eichel got 16%, Sam Bennett got 6%, Reinhart got 4%, Domi 4%, Ehlers 4%, Plotnikov 2%, Hanifin 2%, 1% for Riley, 1% for Duclair, and then others 8%. So Panarin wasn't even on the radar before last season. So maybe I should do a video when all the dust settles on who could be the next Artemi Panarin. Which coach will improve his team the most this season? McClellan got 39% of the vote. Bilesma got 25%. Babcock got 21%, which is odd because the Leafs knew they were going to fail, and so did the fans. So I'm not sure what those 21% were thinking. Maybe thinking the team will be better structured going forward. Will Las Vegas eventually land an NHL franchise? 71% said yes. The other 29%, I would imagine, are Quebec Nordiques fans. Or just Canadians who don't want to see a team in Vegas. Who will win the Art Ross Trophy? Again, Crosby gets 24% there. Patrick Kane only got 7% of the vote. Who will win the Norris Trophy? 13% said Hedman. And then it's a tie of 11% between Doughty, Subban, and Keith. And then Carlson got 10%, Giordano 8%, Shea Weber got 6%. So right there, he's half as good as Subban. So I'm wrong. Letang 4%. McDonough and Ekblad both got 3%. Who will win the President's Trophy? They picked Anaheim with 23%. Washington only got 5% of the vote. You go, John Tavares family. You guys must have voted a lot. And then they have an article in Perfect Kind of Boring about Sean Monahan being a boring person, which is not an insult, not at all. What's this? Back to attack. Two of NHL's biggest and most colorful dudes can do it all at both ends of the ice. Brent Burns and Dennis Bufflin. Change for the better. Squats, yoga, and math. Ryan O'Reilly's electric routine keeps him on high alert. See, the articles aren't as good as they were in the other magazines I've been going back to. And they go through the NHL's top 50. They have an article on Ryan McDonough, born to be a leader. Sid versus Ovi, because that article hasn't been done to death. An article on Taylor Hall. Hall hopes reining in his recklessness will keep him on the ice and off the trainer's table. Changing his stripes. He really is changing his stripes. See, I'm not making up that title. There's Taylor Hall changing his stripes. I sense like Edmonton fans just downvote, stop showing me, stop it. But it's right there, changing his stripes, and he is. Trophy hunting. Weber's had near misses for the Norris, but he only wants to win the cup and fantasy football. So, for Habs fans, there's that defenseman that you think isn't any good. He's yours now. that seems to be the consensus, anyways. Oh, the downvotes. The downvotes, Shannon, are coming. They're coming. Can you feel them? They're coming. Keeping it simple. It's all about Morgan Riley. And honestly, of all the Leafs jerseys I don't have, I like the 67 throwback. I think it's a nice jersey. The only thing is, with a lot of Leafs jerseys, the striping is exactly the same. The neckline's exactly the same. The only difference really is the logo. So, team reports, they pick the Ducks to win the Stanley Cup over Washington. So, I said, if TSN picks you to win the Cup, don't bet on it. And they had the Canucks finishing behind the Oilers and ahead of the Coyotes. But they had the Sharks missing the playoffs. They had Minnesota missing the playoffs. They had Winnipeg in the playoffs ahead of Dallas and Nashville. They had Calgary in the playoffs. They predicted Montreal in the playoffs. They predicted Florida would miss and be behind Ottawa. They predicted Columbus would make the playoffs and that Philly would miss. See, people shit all over me for being wrong in predictions, and here you are. You've got these guys are being paid $10 a magazine. I get about 2 cents a video view, and you know, I'm the idiot. They're getting paid money, real money, Future Watch. Let's see if anybody's really stepped forward since these Future Watches were done last year. If anybody jumped up. Christian Dvorak's number 5 on the Arizona list. Creative with a high IQ but limited or timid at top speed. I don't know about that. And then number 6, they got Brandon Gormley. Gormley's a free agent right now. He's UFA. And I don't think anybody's going to pick him up. I think he's going to Europe. He just can't keep up. A responsible and sturdy presence in his own end. Yeah, because he can't get out of his own end. By the time he gets out of his own end, the period's over. Yeah, that's it for Arizona. There's Koklachev with Boston. That's a pretty sad list for Boston, honestly. Although I like Jakob Forsbacka Karlsson. BU commits well-rounded but needs more points. That's fine. Buffalo, they got Jake McCabe at number 4. Mark Pysyk at number 5. He, of course, is now with Florida. Looks sharp at both ends of the ice, NHL ready. Linus Ullmark is at 9. Stats dip with athleticism shows promise in net. He didn't look bad in a Buffalo net last year as a backup. See, I'm telling you, these 9 or 10 rated draft picks, or 10 rated prospects, you just never know. Calgary, number 8, Bill Arnold. Strong first pro season, limited by injury, and then he fell off the map this year, and now he's UFA as well. So these kids in their early 20s, you go, well, maybe they got time. The NHL doesn't give them time anymore. The NHL, you've got your entry-level deal, and then you're done. That's just how it works now. All right. Yoni Orioles at number 3. Won first 4 NHL starts last year with 908 save percentage. He's UFA too, I think. I think Calgary let him go. I'm not looking it up. No. Carolina, there's Hannafin, Hayden Fleury, Sebastian Aho. Often overconfident at times, but a finesse puck handler. Drafted 15, so this past draft, 35th overall. Roland McEwen, two-way blue liner on a mediocre OHL team. He was acquired from LA, and LA used the draft pick that they got from the Canucks for Lyndon Vay on McEwen, so that's why I keep an eye on him. Blackhawks. There's Teravainen. NHL ready with 18 games played in Chicago playoffs with 10 points. Of course, he's now with Carolina. Ryan Hartman, grinder who doesn't let his lack of size stop him. Gustav Forsling's at 5. Sweden start World Junior Championship, regular power play contributor. Number 6 is Montreal's property now, Philip Deneau. Natural playmaker, but slow to adjust to pro level. Carolina, number 2, Michael Grigorenko. Maturity and skill are there, competitiveness is not. True. Number 4, Calvin Pickard. Sparkled in NHL call-ups with 932 save percentage and 16 games played. That's why you rate him behind Grigorenko, right? Because he sparkled. So, whatever. I like Pickard. I still think that kid's going to be something. Let's see. Columbus. There's a lot of prospects there. Kirby Reichel, who's now Leafs property, at number 4. A net front presence who wins battles down low. Number 10, Jonas Korpisalo, who is now the backup in Columbus. Successful first pro season in Liga with 919 save percentage. They rated him behind Anton Forsberg, and Forsberg got a tryout with Columbus too. Like, he got a couple games in a call-up as well. Columbus is looking like a pretty good factory for goalies right now, like San Jose used to be. Remains to be seen how long Bobrovsky is going to hold on to the job if they keep creating decent young goaltenders, because Bobrovsky eats a lot of cap, and that team is up against it. Dallas, Julius Honka, small skilled D-man, will hit 100 AHL games played as a teen, and I really hope he's ready this year because Dallas needs him. Thanks to that stupid Chris Russell losing Yoki Paka freaking whatever. Jason Dickinson, 56 games played in the OHL. Piffet had 71 points. Really liked him last year. Really liked that kid. In his call-up, he was really good. I'm really impressed with him. Faxa, physical presence continuously hindered by injury. I praised him throughout the playoffs. Radek Faxa's ready as the number 4 center, and I'm so excited to see him. I'm actually pretty excited for Dallas in general. It's just the goaltending. They got to fix it, or else, I'd be Dallas, Dallas, Dallas. Remy Ely's dropped way down on their prospects list. Detroit, number 1's Anthony Mantha. Junior to pro, an uphill battle, only 33 points in 62 games played. And there's a lot of talk last year about, Mantha's going to get traded. Holland's pissed off with him. Oh, he's useless. And then he had a relatively good year this year in the AHL, and now he's a prospect again. And I haven't heard anything about Holland wanting to trade him. Kind of weird. Maybe Holland realizes it takes more than a season in the AHL for some players to be ready. Number 7, Tyler Bertuzzi. Todd's tough nephew must upgrade skating. I'm actually impressed to see that kid on the list. Edmonton, of course, you have the who's who of prospects with McDavid, Draisaitl, Nurse, Griffin Reinhart, Laurent Brossoit, and then Bogdan Yakimov. What's weird is there was an article on TSN or the Hockey News, can't remember which one, where it said Yakimov loaned to KHL team. I thought it said Yakupov. I was like, holy crap, Edmonton's given up on They've sent Yakupov to the KHL. And I wasn't against it, but then I clicked on it and then I read, oh, it's Bogdan Yakimov. Okay. So, there's Sleepy Chev, who Oilers fans are all excited about if he becomes something. Slick right-handed winger with nose for the net. I would think finesse players that can score is not something Edmonton needs. That's why they went out and got Luch, and they traded for Cashin, and they have Maroon. Florida, there's Krause, big and tough, but offensively underwhelming. Michael Matheson, smooth skating captain, nearly NHL ready. Caution, Petrovic. Grimaldi, who's been traded. Speed and talent make up for lack of size. Quentin Howden, slow offensive development, impaired by injuries. I believe he's UFA as well. Crazy. Not a whole lot interesting in the Kings top 10. Minnesota, Alex Tuck, who should be ready this year. Eriksson Ek, who they drafted last year, really hoping that kid comes on. Anytime you have 2 last names, like Forsbacka Carlson, Eriksson Ek, come on, you guys with the double last names, you got to make it. And Matthias Janmark Nealon, dropping the Nealon from his last name, that's just cowardly. Your last name would have fit on a jersey, you punk. I'm just kidding. I like the kid a lot. Lucia. Montreal. Delarose. Sherback. And there's Jared Chinordi, stay-at-home D-man, needs more time to develop. I think he's going to have all the time to develop in the world because I think he's done in the NHL. I do. I think he's done. I think he'll have a shot with Arizona this year, but it's going to be tough sledding for him. Mike Condon's at number 10. Transitioned easily from ECHL to Edmonton or to Hamilton. He was just a free agent signing. So Condon is an example of how much you don't necessarily know what you got. Let's see, Fiala, Sissons. There's VC. The junior finished 3rd in the NCAA in points, 58. So yeah, that's, a basic idea of how, that's just in a year. And that's just going through half the league. That's how much things can change. So when I do my predictions and I'm wrong, remember, everybody's wrong. That's the wonders of being a prognosticator and of predicting things. You'll be wrong. And it's okay to be wrong. Anyways, Rick and Morty's coming on. And even though it's a rerun and I've seen it before, it's a rule I have to watch Rick and Morty. So that being said, I appreciate the messages I've had. I appreciate the beta code for NHL 17. I appreciate the messages I've been getting. I'm still adjusting to that. I'm still adjusting to this whole actually having a YouTube channel that people watch thing. And I'm adjusting to the fact that I've had a few people now say, well, people could send you things. And I'm like, I don't know how comfortable I am with that necessarily. Sort of like I had got a Patreon account, because you do that if you have a Facebook, or not Facebook, a YouTube channel, and people want to fund it. And I'm not really there yet. Like, I know Red Letter Media has one, but Red Letter Media does some fantastic movies and stuff. And I'm not doing that right now. So, Hockey Guy the movie isn't exactly screaming for Hollywood right now. So I don't know. Yeah, I guess we'll see what happens from here. But this is fun, and I will be certain to go through other years and compare how things ended up to how things were supposed to end up. So thanks for watching.